Now I'm here with Britta from VR, and Britta, you're going to let me demo some games for people at PAX. Very brave of you. What do you, when you're doing a demo, you're sort of doing a first impressions of a game. What do you really want to try and convey to people with that game, with that demo?
Yeah, so demos are very different to playing a game. A lot of people think that a lot of people don't know the difference between a demo and playing a game. So a demo is generally a lot shorter, and what you're trying to do is convey, I suppose, the feeling behind that game. So if you're demoing like a fun party game, you want that energy to be really light, and you're explaining how enjoyable it is for them to play, and then showing them through a very quick play. When we demo larger games like Ark Nova, we've got The Last Kingdom as well, usually you'll walk through a turn or two of that for each player so they can get a feel for it. And then it's up to them whether they want to sit down and commit to the rest of that play, and you can move on to the next demo. So demos, you never really get to, you as the demoer won't get to experience the full game, but you're hoping to convey the feeling that they're going to have, give them enough of the rule knowledge so that they can then go on and experience that themselves.
So I guess, yeah, give them a sense of the game and then want them to either go and play the game in the library or go, if you're being successful enough and it hits well enough, to buy the game straight away.
Yeah, well, yeah, essentially, if they would like that, then that's great. But for me, like a lot of the demoing here at PAX, we have a lot of accessible games, there's a lot of easy games. So what we actually are wanting to do is not so much get people to buy the games, we're getting them to try the games. So we want as many people as possible who have never picked up a board game before to start playing board games. And if they fall in love, then that's the goal.
Well, fingers crossed.
No pressure.
So when I walked into the VR booth, I was kind of a little bit unsure about which game to try and teach. So sort of like, no, this is a bad spot. Oh, no, this is too long. So I eventually settled on Tiny Epic Galaxies. I really played the blast off version, so I had to sort of refresh my memory a little bit. And the first teach was a little bit rough, but I got to teach it twice, and it's sort of a fun game to sort of, okay, this is what the actions do, this is what the dice do, this is what you're trying to achieve, and just sort of get people, giving them a sense of the game, not playing the whole game, but giving them a sense of the game. And so that was cool. Then I migrated across to a game I'd heard about but hadn't played, Spots. So as I was setting it up, I was reading the rule book. I'm like, oh, this is a pretty simple game, dice placements onto, dogs with different spots which equal pips on the dice. So I taught that to two groups. One sort of family played a couple of rounds, and one group of four who wanted to play the whole game. And then I think it was a success because afterwards they went straight in line and bought a copy. It's exhausting trying to teach games, especially when you're sort of refreshing your knowledge. But it was a lot of fun, sort of demoing and sharing games and changing new folk. And I really enjoyed it. Maybe I wouldn't want to do an 8-hour shoot of it at PAX, but I certainly had fun doing it for a little while.